Welcome back to the Culture, Worldview, and Origins series. This is on critical thinking skills in science. This is Chapter 2, Culture, going on to the third video series, third video of the series. Number 8, there's 13 points. Number 8 is location of thought. For the Western tendency, the location of thought is internal because it's auditory based. It's abstract, which means it's no context. It's internal. And so you can think about things that you have not experienced. You can hypothesize about things that don't exist. You can more easily. And so it's kind of like it's very abstract, not needing any context about it, and it's reductionistic. It's abstract means to take it out, take something out of its context. And so it's like reductionistic, and that is what Western culture is known for, is being reductionistic, is isolating, is taking stuff apart or isolating it from the whole and studying that one part. Whereas the non-Western tendency is their location of thought is external to them because of having an external authority, and so they are more external based, which is visually based of what is seen outside of their person. And so they are visually based, which makes it concrete, which means that they tend to be very concrete thinkers, context based, holistic, which means the whole picture or the whole community or everything, is that they are not reductionistic in their thought processes. Now, what this lends to is a type of thinking up here that can be hypothetical. It's not reality based. It's not experience based. It's something in the mind, something that is that you can think of, something that can be hypothesized or created through the combination of different entities. Whereas the non-Western thinking, being very visually based, is very concrete and experience based. I read a report about some before the public schools were brought into some rural areas. In a Russian Russian area, and they did a study and they were asking questions, and so it was kind of like they were interviewing this one gentleman. It's kind of like, how long does it take you walking to get to the next town? And he would say 2 hours. Okay. Now, if you had a bicycle and a bicycle could do it twice as fast, how long would that take you? How long would that be? And the gentleman just responded, you can't do it because I don't have a bicycle. And plus the road is very rough, and the terrain is not good for a bicycle, so you can't do it. Well, okay, hypothetically thinking, if a bicycle could go twice as fast as you to get to that town, how long would it take you to do it on a bicycle versus walking that takes you 2 hours? You can't do it because bicycles can't. I don't have a bicycle, and bicycles can't do it. So in other words, hypothetical thinking was outside of the concrete, which was difficult or nearly impossible for them to answer because it was not within their experience. It was not logical. It was not able to be even accomplished, so why even try to give a number? Because it's not possible. Type of thought orientation. The type of thought is Western tendency. Their orientation, because of their thought is inward, they are thinking future hypothetical. Okay, because of inward locus of authority, their thought tends to be hypothetically, what if? And because of the what if, it tends to be futuristic. It tends to be the future, projecting out in the future. What if? Because of that Western tendency, there's a great business being done in the insurance area of insuring Western-minded thinkers of the future to what if, hypothetically thinking, in the future something happened. So a Western thinker is more inclined to want to guard against the hypothetical loss. And so they buy insurance. They're preventative. They're analytical. They're critical. They're questioning. They're progressive. Okay? Non-Western tendency is historical and practical. Historical meaning that their focus is not to the future, but it's to the past, and that their back is to the future. And that would be a biblical view of man, is that man is looking at what has happened in history, and with that confidence of what has happened, he is confident of the future and doesn't have to be hypothetical and doesn't have to buy insurance to secure him, because he knows of the past and the family will be there in the future. So the future, the Western tendency is futuristic, hypothetical, preventative, because it's looking at the future. It wants to prevent things to happen. It's analytical. Okay, it analyzes, takes things apart, rearranges it. What if this happened, or what if this, or what if that? And so it's analytical. It's critical. Okay, I don't think I have enough money. I don't think I have enough resources. It's critical to analyze. And it's questioning. Well, what if? And that's back to the hypothetical. What if? And so it's questioning, which translates into a characteristic trait of questioning others' authority, because we have, as a Westerner, internal authority. And so as we develop our skeptical attitude towards others, and our questioning attitude, then we start questioning external authorities, because I have my authority internal, and so it is within me. And it's progressive, meaning that it's always driven to do things better. It's always driven to a higher level. It is rarely content at the level it's at. It is born and bred to be progressive. And that is the Western culture, is very progressive, whereas the non-Western culture is very conservative. In other words, they conserve the practices and the beliefs of their ancestors, of the previous generations, could be for hundreds of years or maybe thousands of years even. They are conservative because it's an external authority. They respect that external authority and they conserve the practices of it. So the non-Western tendency is historically based. They look at history. They're not with their eyes on the future. They're with their back to the future and their eyes on the past, remembering what had happened. They're practical, very problem solving of current problems, not projecting problems that are out in the future, but problems that exist right now. Reflective, meditative, thinking about their authority, thinking on how to please or how to whatever that external authority. They're submissive to that authority and conservative in nature. So now you can see that there's building a tendency here of two different thought patterns. And I don't know if you've had the opportunity to go be cross-cultural, go cross-culturally, but you're going to run into these differences. And oftentimes the Westerner, when he comes into a non-Western culture, is seen as somebody that's very assertive, very confident, very loud, kind of pushy, and maybe a little bit disrespectful. And so this is where we're getting into how the different cultures interrelate with each other. Number 10, the product of thought processing. Okay, there's a product. Our cultures produce something because of the way we think. So the Western tendency is with abstract ideas. Their ideas are abstract. They're new ideas. They've never been done before. Not sure if they'll even work. Not really based off history, but maybe built off history, but looking to the future, how to use the history of the past technology in the future. And so they are producing new technologies, and they are generally the source of original producers of products. Whereas the non-Western tendency, they have concrete ideas, what they've seen, what they've experienced, what they've always used, concrete ideas. They are very creative problem solving because of the problem that is now in front of them. They are resourceful to use what they have at hand to come to a solution for that problem. So they're very creative in solving problems. I had a vehicle that was, it was older. It was 20, 30 years old. And we had to keep it running. And, down in South America, there weren't always parts available. It just amazed me at what my mechanic could do to keep that thing running. Whereas if I would have brought it up here to a shop, they would put it on a machine and they would have said, the machine says your car is broke. And I would say, I know that. Can you fix it? And they would say, no, they don't make parts for that anymore. Boom, you're done. Whereas mine, the non-Western shop could always fix it. It might come back looking a little different and adaptive. I had a Land Rover Defender, so the Land Rover might be sporting a Toyota clutch now or something that was just always a little bit different. But so the non-Western tendency works with concrete ideas, creative problem solving, and they are reproducers. They are excellent reproducers, which can get you in trouble with copyright infringement. But they are excellent at seeing something and reproducing it, being able to reproduce it exactly and beautifully. That's the end of this video. Number 3, we're on culture and how culture influences our thinking processes. We're in Culture, Worldview, and Origins. This series is on critical thinking skill in science. We're looking at how culture can influence that. Thanks for joining me. Hope to see you in the next video, which will be the last one, wrapping up on culture. Thank you.